they get to the habits of hearts and minds, is how I kind of picture it, of 21st century learning or lifelong learning. The ability to be creative and see things outside the box and be open to other perspectives, and pushed to see things in other ways through other perspectives. To be able to take an idea or an event and see the correlations between the two and build these broader and deeper foundational understandings of those ideas.
I think for me, 21st century learning for students really is about student ownership of what it is that they're doing, and that it's student-driven more than teacher-driven. That they're given the opportunity to make decisions in their learning, and make decisions in the way that they're going to display the learning that they've achieved within the classroom.
The ability to learn, unlearn, relearn, and learn again.
I think it looks like a community. So instead of kids kind of separate at their desks and working independently, they're working with each other, they're talking, they're engaged, they're laughing, and the teacher, instead of kind of standing at the front, is engaged with them and working in groups, and every kid is included in that. More so now than ever, kids need to be a member of that community. So, at the beginning of the year, focusing a lot on community building and how to help each other and how to have those learning relationships instead of just working independently. And school is no longer about, memorizing, but more about reflecting and discussions and questioning. And students need to be able to have the skills to kind of adapt.
I felt like I really had to give up the role of being the director or in charge of everything, and let the kids really steer where we were going to go with many of the activities that we've done, and trust in them and realize that they know sometimes better than I do what they need and the way that they can display their learning best. And it's been difficult for me just giving up that that position of, I don't want to say power, but, being that person in charge and saying to the kids, okay, how do you want to set this up? What do you think it should look like? How do you want to be assessed? And really including them in that process. So I think the skills that we have put us in the position to be 21st century teachers. It's just changing our mindset on some things, realizing that it's okay. Sometimes I don't know the answer to everything, and I go to the kids and say, I don't know the answer to this. How can we figure this out together? What tools do we have to figure this out, and can you help me? And I think just showing the kids that I'm willing to seek challenges, and I'm willing to make mistakes in front of them and be open and honest about that.
I think my role's changed because I'm giving up control and letting the kids take over in their learning. They're running a lot of the projects themselves, and I'm standing back and watching them work through the problem, make mistakes, correct their mistakes, and work together. I think teachers need to be very flexible and adapt to this new way of learning and teaching. Be open to using technology and having the kids teach you about technology.
I think he or she is excited, so kind of presenting information to kids and giving them the skills to work through that information and also to come up with more questions. And so it's different, but it's also the same. I think every good teacher kind of has these traits, and also focusing on empathy and character building, and not just kind of learning the skills that the classroom needs, but also that they'll need later on in life.
I think that the students are much more active in a 21st century classroom. They have to be. There's so much, the expectations for them is that, not that they're just absorbing the information and then in some way, I don't know how else to say, but spitting it out, spitting it back, but they have to also create things now. They really have to understand something well enough to be able to say, this is a project that I think I could do to demonstrate my knowledge, and this is how I think I should be assessed when I do this project. I don't think they need new skills. I just think we need to, how do I say it? I think we need to focus on certain skills Like, I think we've taught them the skills that they need all along, but I think we focus on certain skills, and we focused on those skills for so long that we lose maybe like the creativity and the drive for them to do new things on their own.
Right.
I think they're very comfortable being told what to do.
Right.
And it's uncomfortable to have to step out of that role and to say, I think this is what I want to do, and I want to show you how I can do it. I would say out of all the skills that if they're lacking a skill, it would be that ability to really describe who they are as learners, what they do well. They really have to spend a lot of time thinking about that to fully understand what it means to be a 21st century learner.
This year's been really exciting. We have a lot of big projects going on. The kids are really into their learning. They're sharing their learning with many other people by way of our websites that we've created, our blog, and I think that they're excited about the change.
Students need to be critical and creative thinkers. They need to be able to collaborate and communicate effectively with a variety of audiences. They need to have access to information and use different resources within the classroom. The students are engaged in meaningful activities. For example, when my class creates their podcast, these students exhibit curiosity and creativity when researching a topic. The students have to think of their topic, research it, write about it, and record their sentences. Our world is ever-changing, and our students need to be proactive problem solvers, collaborators, and be able to adapt to different situations in a technology and global-driven world.
I just think that the furniture isn't what makes a classroom a 21st century classroom.
It's
the
not.
technology is not what makes it either. Those are tools that we've used. It's been nice. It makes for ease of grouping. It's great for the kids because they're constantly moving and they're not in one location stuck. They have to be able to meet with other people, different people than they're used to. So I think that the furniture in and of itself just supports what we're trying to do with 21st century learner. Same thing with the technology. It's great to have. We love it. But it's just a tool that they use in order to achieve the goals that they've set for themselves.
When you walk into a 21st century classroom, my perception of one anyway, there's this buzz, this energy. You probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference between a student and a teacher because they are both students and teachers.